So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with the final of the Exeter Store Championships held on the 24th of January 2015. I'm David Paterson, host of Netrunners.co.uk, and I'm pleased to present to for your viewing enjoyment Mr. Dave Hoyland, the national champion there on the left and top 8 finalist of Worlds. And we have Alex over from Exeter there, sporting his rather spiffing new winnings of his Store Championship mat. He's playing NEH, and Dave has opted to go for his Leela deck. So, again, for those of you that are unfamiliar with double elimination, because Alex has come through the losers bracket, obviously no derogatory term intended, he has, as a result now, has to win both games. So he has to win as Corp and as runner in order to be victorious in the field of battle here, whereas Dave Hoyland only has to win this match to finish. So there could be another game after this, there could not. It all very much depends on how Alex does and whether he can get that cheeky little win with his NEH deck. So here we are, he's going to install first of all, and he's going to play a Sweep Sweep, and unfortunately he's Leela rather than Andromeda, and so it doesn't quite see as much value out of that as he perhaps would have hoped, but nevertheless he has money. He doesn't seem to have tokens, so tokens are being gathered as we speak. And there's obviously a crowd gathering around the table, as there is any kind of tournament at this stage. And he's going to install. So R&D is open. It's going to be interesting to see here what happens, whether Dave goes full-blooded. He will. So we're going to have a cheeky poke at R&D, first click, and see what he sees. Looks like an agenda. He'll pay 4 to steal an NAPD. He'll bounce a piece of ice on HQ, and he's going to siphon. And this is exactly where Leela comes into strength. Dave laughs at the absolute great opportunity that he has there to be able to do some significant damage. And looks like he's going to clear tags. No, I don't think he is. Absolutely devastating though, and that is exactly what Leela can do. Score that cheeky agenda and suddenly snowball the position into something that is utterly hideous for the corporation. He's going to run R&D again, and he's going to see another NEPD, and that's absolutely horrendous. He's going to bounce that other piece of ice back. Sorry, the other asset, and I think he's probably going to go again, or is he going to have a poke at HQ? And, you know, that is all kinds of horrific. Didn't get lucky the third time, but at the very least they were both NAPDs, so it could probably be worse there for Alex. I think Dave's giving some consideration here whether to trash. Probably a DBS, I would imagine, at this point. Could be a... Oh, it's Jackson. Okay, so he's going to get rid of the Jackson. Probably wise, just in case he is agenda flooded. He's going to pass the turn, and literally there, Alex is right back to where he started, having nothing on the board, no presence whatsoever. He's going to draw. Looks like he saw another Jackson off the top there. Oh no, it's a Beal, sorry. He's going to draw again. It looks like he's seeing agendas here. He's going to put one over R&D, one over HQ. It's pretty much like his first turn all over again, really, just with, unfortunately, 4 agenda points gone the other way. So he's got a couple of agendas in hand there by the looks of it, and he's going to have to be careful here not to leave himself too vulnerable for Dave. And the problem with Grail is, obviously, it does have a bit of a setup time. You want to see Grail on the board and Grail in hand as well to make it actually taxing. Looks like he's drawn up there to a hedge fund, which is going to probably be exactly what the doctor ordered. I'd be surprised if we don't see take credit and hedge fund here. Although he is giving it some thought and some consideration. Looks like he's going to res Jackson and draw 2. And that is a surprise. I guess he just kind of wants to ditch a couple of those agendas that he has in hand here. He is going to take credit and hedge fund, so that was just his first. It makes sense to do it that way around. You should always draw first if you have the opportunity to do so, because you never quite know what your options may actually turn into. So it looks like Dave's going to have a quick poke at archives, at which point we will see Jackson being used. I think there's both the Beals there probably going in the bin, and he's probably going to... Is he going to put the other Jackson? No, he's going to go for economy, so he's putting the hedge fund in. Already seen a Corroder and a Zoo out on the board now. This is not the kind of position you want to see for a Grail deck where you've got 2 out of 3 breakers down. A good economic position. And yeah, he's got all kinds of problems now. He just needs to stop that last cheeky top deck. If he can get the Astro Train started, as we saw from the last match, things can change, and things can change quite quickly. But Leela, you know, is in danger here of absolutely snowballing for the win. All it's going to take is one more agenda being scored or stolen, and suddenly the board position looks very, very fragile indeed. And Grail not necessarily ideal against Leela, I think it's safe to say. Because you kind of have to be, you know, you want stuff on the board, you want stuff in hand, and Leela really does disrupt that. But at least he's got a bit of cash now to be able to play around. He's going to install, drawing up a card with NEH. Seen lots of ice now. Looks like a pop-up window there. He's having a quick look, quick poke to see what he's got there on his centrals. Looks like he's going to protect R&D over HQ, and he's going to take a credit in return. I think that may have been the pop-up window there. Just try and make his runs as taxing as possible, get a bit of economy going. Looks like he's going to run HQ first of all, though. He's going to res a Galahad, so not ideal with the Corroder on the board, but I'm assuming here he's got at least 2 other pieces of Grail Ice in his hand, and he does. So it's another Galahad and a Merlin, so he's going to pay the 3 to get through. He will have an access. I'm not sure if he has any agendas in hand now at this stage, but we were about to find out. Oh, he does, and there's a Beal. I think that's the only agenda he has in hand. So he's going to bounce the outer R&D ice, which I'm pretty sure is the pop-up window. And like I say, this is right here the danger of Leela. He's going to siphon, and it just goes from bad to worse here for Alex. There is very little that he can do about this. He's just taking hit after hit. That's 2 siphons and 3 agendas scored. I think it's only turn 3 or 4. And he may have the tags, but I don't think he's running any tag punishment. He's even got the... I've got a 1-pointer in hand there, as we can see. So if Dave does poke that will be the end of the game. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him trying to score that out and shoot desperation. Obviously, it will mean he bounces another piece of unresed ice. He's going to go for R&D instead for the win. Didn't see the agenda he needed. Alex in all kinds of problems here. And it's going to be interesting to see if he can get his way out of it. So he will draw, he will see that pop-up window, which isn't going to do a great deal of good at this stage, other than provide him with a little bit of economy. He's out of Bartik range, he's out of Sansan range, and his options are dwindling significantly, the Siphon really turning the tide of battle. And it's 6 points to nothing. We've already seen 3 key pieces bounce. He's going to install and take 2 by the looks of it, and pass the turn back over to Dave. At least I'm assuming that's what the case is. He's got 4 credits on the board, and he's probably trying to protect against Siphon number 3 here at this stage. Anyone who says Siphon isn't worth including anymore needs their head looked at. That's all I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen. There's a reason why the max decks are doing so well. It's because they play Siphon a lot. Dave's got a special order, looking for the last piece of his puzzle. I'm going to assume probably a Mimic. It is indeed a Mimic. Always happy when I make the right call. So suddenly now, Lance a lot less of a threat. It's just about money. Obviously Merlin being the key taxing piece of ice at this point. It's going to cost quite a lot for a zoo to get through. But with a full suite out, with a decent amount of economy behind him and 6 points of agendas, this is not where an NEH Grail deck wants to be. Not in the slightest. Looks like he's going to draw, and he's going to pass the turn. To be fair, he probably could have had a poke there, but I think he's right in just playing it cautious, playing it safe. He's in no immediate rush. He's going to install that Sansan there, drawing himself up a card. It's a hedge fund, so he's going to take a credit and play a hedge fund. It's a bit of a no-brainer. That kind of play plays itself. And pass the turn back over. So Dave, I would almost imagine he's probably going to have a look at that that card, but I actually know what he's going to do. Is he's going to say more thing, and he's going to siphon. I'm assuming it's a Siphon. It's got to be a Siphon, surely. So, does he res this outer piece of ice, or does he res the Sansan, or does he just take the hit and hope that he can recover? He's got 9 credits on the board, and that is the kind of range where you really have to contemplate whether you want to soak all the money up or not. He is not going to res, but he will res a Sansan. So it's only going to leave him with 3 credits to Siphon. Does he go here for the... No, he takes the 3 credits. Probably the right call. So he takes the 3 and taking 6. He'll run R&D. He's got no money, so there's no way he's going to be able to res that unless it's a pop-up. And you'll see the last agenda for the win, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Not a lot of fun there for Alex. Again, reiterating the power of Leela. She can literally just snowball a game out like nobody's business. Dave getting a little bit fortunate, perhaps off R&D off the very beginning, but he did pay for them with NEPD and was able to continue to apply pressure in a significant fashion throughout the course of the game. So Dave Hoyland, the national champion, is also now the champion of the Exeter Store Championship for 2015. Goes and takes his bye at the very first time of asking, and is very happy with the prospect of being able to doss around the first round of regionals. So I fully expect to see him in one of those coming to you soon. In the interim, again, everyone did very well there. It was a great tournament, and thank you very much for the guys over at Clifton Road Games for running it. In the interim, please do visit us over at Netrunners.co.uk. We've got a new tournament report section up. Please do come over, have a look, and join us on the forums. We'll see you there.